Hey guys, welcome back. So here we are, Friday night in Suzuka, and I'm staring at these FP2 times going, okay, McLaren just flipped the script on us. Oscar Piastri puts down a 130.133 on the softs, and suddenly the Mercedes 1-2 from FP1? Gone. Kimi Antonelli's only 900ths back in second. George Russell 2/10ths off in third. Norris recovers to fourth despite that hydraulic scare early on. I mean, coming into this weekend after Mercedes looked so tidy in FP1, a lot of us were thinking Silver Arrows might have the edge here. But Piastri just went out there mid-session, bolted on the Reds, and reminded everybody why McLaren are still the team to beat when it clicks. Now, the big question hanging over the paddock tonight is, was that the real McLaren, or are Mercedes still sandbagging a little? We're going to unpack all of it. First, though, if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the button, turn the notifications on. We do this every single session, every weekend. No fluff, just the proper nerdy breakdown you guys actually want. Big thank you to everyone who's been dropping comments and supporting the channel. Means a lot. All right, let's get into it. So FP1 this morning belonged to Mercedes. Russell and Antonelli 1-2, split by just 0.026 seconds. Looked smooth, looked planted, especially through the low-speed stuff. Then FP2 rolls around, everybody starts on mediums, Leclerc actually sets the early benchmark, and then the switch to softs happens, and boom! Piastri jumps from a 130.1 on the yellows to a 130.133 on the reds, over a second quicker. That's the kind of swing you only see when the car just wakes up. Antonelli was right there, though. Kid's been on fire since China. 900ths, that's nothing at Suzuka. Russell a bit further back, but still only 2/10ths off his teammate. To me, it looked like McLaren just found a bit more rotation through the S's and carried stupid speed into 130R. Mercedes felt a touch more planted out of the hairpin. Good traction, but maybe a little loose in the high-speed direction changes. Classic Suzuka story, one car loves the quick stuff, the other loves the slow. And tire behavior, the softs were working for everybody in that short quali simulation window, but you could see Piastri's McLaren just seemed to have less graining on the front left coming through the spoon curve. Norris only got a handful of laps on them at the end and still went fourth. Shows the paces in the car even if the session didn't go to plan. Now let's talk the engineering side for a second because this is where it gets fun. Suzuka is one of those tracks that punishes you in three completely different ways. High-speed direction change in the SS, low-speed traction at the hairpin, and then that monster 130R where you're basically praying the car stays planted. From the data we've seen so far, McLaren's floor and diffuser package seems to be generating that little extra downforce in the high-speed stuff without killing them on the main straight. Mercedes looked like they had the better mechanical grip low down, which makes sense with the way their chassis has been this year. But the gap on the softs was basically all in sectors 1 and 3, the flowing bits. That tells you everything about where the development race is right now. You could see the ERS deployment patterns too. Piastri was aggressive with the battery through the chicane and out of Degner, carrying that extra punch into the next corner. Mercedes were maybe a touch more conservative, saving it for the long-run sims at the end. Not a massive difference, but at this level, a tenth here and there adds up quick. After the session, the drivers were pretty honest. Piastri came on the radio sounding calm as ever, something along the lines of, yeah, the car felt really nice on the softs, balance was good, let's see what tomorrow brings. Antonelli, bless him, still sounds like a wide-eyed rookie half the time, even though he's winning races now. He said in the pen, it's my first proper weekend here at Suzuka in the car, and it already feels special. The Mercedes is responding well, but there's still a bit left on the table. Russell was more measured. We knew it would be tight. We've got some small tweaks to make overnight, but the raw pace is definitely there. Toto Wolff was grinning in the garage, but you could tell he wasn't completely relaxed. Andrea Stella on the other side was the one who actually looked pretty happy. McLaren needed that after the nightmare start to the season with all the reliability gremlins. So where does this leave us heading into FP3 in quali tomorrow? Suzuka is one of those tracks where quali pretty much sets the tone for the whole weekend. Overtaking isn't impossible, but it's proper hard, especially with these 2026 cars and the way the DRS zones work. If McLaren can keep this balance, they're looking at a front-row lockout. But Mercedes have shown they can be quick when it counts, and that low-speed strength could be massive on race day when the tire degradation kicks in. Weather looks dry for now, but you never know with Japan. One shower and suddenly the whole order changes. Longer term, after this, we've got a few more high-speed tracks coming up where McLaren should be strong, but then the street circuits later in the year might swing back Mercedes' way. Development race is tight. Both teams have stuff in the pipeline. Big picture though, championship is still wide open. Russell leads Antonelli by 4 points after that epic China battle. McLaren are the defending constructors champs, but they've had to fight reliability issues early doors. This weekend feels like a proper statement session. If Piastri and Norris can convert this pace into poles and wins, the momentum swings hard their way. But if Mercedes find that extra 2 or 3 tenths overnight, we could be looking at another Silver Arrows front row. To me, I don't think McLaren are suddenly untouchable, but this FP2 felt like the first proper "we're here" moment of the season for them. Antonelli and Russell are both quick enough to win this thing on Sunday if everything lines up. It's gonna be spicy. Anyway, what do you guys think? Can Mercedes turn it around in quali, or is McLaren about to run away with it? Drop your predictions in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed the breakdown, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you after FP3 or quali tomorrow. We'll have to see how it plays out. Thank you all for stopping by. Peace.